The Haunting of Hollow Hill Asylum by VeryUn-Ghostly. In the moon's feeble glow, Hollow Hill Asylum loomed like a monstrous relic from a forgotten era. Its once imposing facade had deteriorated and its shattered windows gaped like hollow eyes. The asylum, known for its dark history of mistreatment and neglect, had long been abandoned and decayed. It had been a place where the mentally ill had suffered unimaginable torment, hidden away from society. One chilling autumn evening, a group of thrill-seeking urban explorers, led by the intrepid Daryl, decided to venture into the decaying asylum. More upon the group was Sarah, a psychology major, Max, an editor for the press, and Vivian, a tourist guide for the unknown. They were drawn by the stories of ghostly apparitions and eerie happenings that had been whispered about in hushed tones around the town. Armed with flashlights, cameras, and their adrenaline, they entered the foreboding structure. "Stay close together," Daryl would say. "Stuck to the hip," Vivian said annoyingly. As the night descended upon them, the explorers began to experience strange and unsettling occurrences. Whispers echoed through the corridors, and shadowy figures moved in the corners of their vision. Many other spiritual figures, or possibly skinwalkers. Sarah, a psychology major in the group, sensed an oppressive atmosphere and grew uneasy. They couldn't shake the feeling that they were not alone. The asylum seemed to come alive with tortured souls of its past residents. Ghostly apparitions of former patients appeared, their hollow eyes pleading for release from the torment that they had endured. Daryl, Sarah, Max, and Vivian heard the disturbing echoes of cries and anguished pleas that had long been silenced, resounding in the cold, damp air. They set camp near the middle of the Hollow Hill Asylum with an evacuation plan for any unbeknownst paranormal activity causing them to leave. This included the safety tent, a place where Max would hide at night, a full supply of food and water, and it included a pallet of blankets to sleep in and concrete floors. Buried beneath the layers of the pain and suffering, Hollow Hill Asylum held a dark secret. The doctors and staff had subjected the patients to inhumane experiments and brutal treatments. The building itself held an anguish of those who had been confined within its walls. The spirits of the tormented were determined to ensure their stories were finally heard, and they began to reveal the asylum's foul past to the intruders. The spirits, apparitions, ghostly figures, skinwalkers, and more would constantly mess with them while unraveling the case, always moving stuff, scaring Max to death, turning off and flickering their currently active cameras and flashlights. They couldn't shake the fact that they were in presence of the dead, leaving every one of them shaken to the core. At night, none of them could sleep, just knowing they're near. Max would stay up in the tent, leaving his flashlight on, blinding everyone. Vivian wouldn't stop with the annoying ghost stories. "He eventually met face to face with the creature," she would say, even then not knowing. As the explorers delved deeper into the asylum's history, they uncovered chilling records and artifacts that told of the horrors endured by the patients, mostly from the findings of old files, discarded pictures, art made by the victims, and weapons of torture. They learned of one particularly tragic case, a woman named Emily, who had been wrongly confined and subjected to unimaginable cruelty. Her restless spirit reached out to the group, seeking justice and release from eternal suffering. The group was torn between their desire to escape the asylum, ever-intensifying horrors, and their growing sympathy for the tormented souls. All they wanted was to leave this wretched place, only for the asylum's grim history to be begging to be acknowledged, and the explorers felt an obligation to help the spirits find closure. "Guys, I think I found something," Daryl would shout. They set on a treacherous journey to unravel the